Everyone else was just being a kid running wild, giggling without a care, lost in simple games. But you were already on alert, eyes everywhere, reading signals, stepping in quietly. Not because you chose the role, but because the role chose you. Someone had to keep things from falling apart. Maybe you were heating up leftovers for your siblings while your classmates planned playdates. Maybe you learned to gauge your parents' tension levels long before you could finish a picture book. If any of that rings true about your early years, listen, you're not flawed, not overly solemn, not boring. You simply never had the chance to be truly young. There's even a term for what you went through. Psychologists often describe it as parentification, when a child is pushed into caregiving duties far too soon. And related research, including massive studies like the ACEs Adverse Childhood Experiences Survey with over 17,000 participants, shows how these early adversities reshape everything: how you connect and love, how you push at work, how, or if, you allow yourself real rest. To see why this shaped you so deeply, we have to return to the beginning. Back in the early 1970s, Ivan Bozormanyi-Nagy and Geraldine Spark formally named parentification, the inversion where kids shoulder adult emotional or practical loads because the family structure couldn't hold. It's not true maturity, it's what some call pseudo-maturity or pseudo-maturity, an adult-like exterior built over a childhood that got interrupted. You mastered running a home, yet no one showed you how to handle your own feelings. It looked like growing up fast. Really, it was a child adapting to survive. The brain science is sobering. The landmark 1998 ACEs study by Felitti and Onda revealed a clear pattern. More early adversities correlate with higher odds of depression, anxiety, addiction, and even physical illnesses later. 4 or more ACEs, risks can double or quadruple. More recent neuroimaging, like studies in Nature Neuroscience around 2023, reveals that kids facing early hardship develop changed wiring between the prefrontal cortex, decision-making and regulation, and the amygdala, threat detection. Your brain literally optimized for constant vigilance to protect you. That scanner mode, it's still running, even in safety. What does that feel like in real life? Imagine being 9. The house feels heavy with that loaded silence that signals trouble. Your younger sibling is whining for hunger, and you already know help isn't coming. So you drag a chair over, reach into the fridge, cobble together whatever's there. No tears, no complaints, you just do it, because you've already internalized the rule: if you don't, no one will. In that instant, childhood shifts, not chosen, required. Those coping tools became what experts call survival superpowers. You turned into the dependable one, the fixer everyone relied on. Teachers praised you, employers advanced you, friends turned to you in crisis. Society saw mature beyond years and handed out gold stars. Part of you even felt powerful. But every superpower carried a hidden toll. That razor-sharp room reading, it grew from hypervigilance, always braced for the next shoe to drop. That fierce independence people admire, psychologists label it hyper-independence, a trauma echo. Relying on anyone else once proved unsafe, so you became the only safe bet. These patterns don't fade with age, they migrate. In relationships, at 30, 40, or beyond, you're the endless giver, spotting needs before they're voiced, soothing everyone's storms while ignoring your own. John Bowlby described a secure base, that bedrock assurance someone's got you. You never had it, so you became your own. Result? You love with caution, one eye on the exit, because deep down a small voice still warns, don't settle in, they'll disappear eventually. At work, you're the over-deliverer, last to leave, first to raise a hand, saying yes when every signal screams no. Rest feels risky. If you pause being useful, who are you? The fear whispers that without constant output, you might vanish. In friendships, you're the eternal listener, the unpaid counselor, always asking how are you, but rarely hearing it returned. Pete Walker terms this the fawn response: appease, perform, put others first, not from pure generosity, but from learned terror that stopping means abandonment. The draining part? You see the cycle clearly, you can label it, yet stopping feels impossible because this strategy literally kept you alive once. Society makes it harder by celebrating exactly what hurts you. The quiet kid who never burdens anyone, who eases adult discomfort, that child gets called so mature, such an old soul. Those sound like praise. What they really signal is this child suffers in silence, and it's helpful for us. Researchers call it adultification bias, mistaking survival tactics for character strengths instead of signals something went wrong. You weren't precociously mature, you were enduring, and every compliment quietly rewarded your invisibility. This isn't finger-pointing, it's clarity. The same world that failed to shield you later applauded you for not needing shielding. Here's the crucial split. Not everything born from that time is wound. Your deep empathy, your calm in storms, those can be authentic, post-traumatic growth, as researchers like Tedeschi describe, real gifts forged in fire. But the part where asking for help feels shameful, where rest triggers guilt, that's not power. That's leftover armor. There's a clear line between what's truly yours and what you can finally set down. So what now? The first move isn't repair, it's mourning. Mourn the playful, carefree childhood you were owed but missed, the version of you who could have been messy, dependent, silly, and still completely loved. That sorrow isn't dramatic, it's honest recognition that the little kid inside is still waiting to be seen. The toughest truth? Your value was never tied to usefulness, reliability, or holding everything together. You're worthy even when you stop, even when you need, even when you're quiet. That secure base you lacked, you can start building one now, not through more effort, but through gentle permission to be enough exactly as you are, without performing. If these words hit home and you're thinking, that was my story, hear this clearly. You were never defective. You were a child who pulled off something remarkable. You kept going. And now you hold something rare, the insight to rewrite the script. If this echoes your past, drop even a single word in the comments. Someone else scrolling will need to see they're not alone. And if you want to keep unpacking why you tick the way you do, subscribe. We've got more layers to explore. You've spent years watching out for everyone else. Maybe now it's finally time to watch out for you.